Hey guys, what about Ameobi here? Just gonna do a bit of a playthrough and a bit of kind of addressing a controversy that's come up this weekend. There was a course, Goddington Dam, I think it was called, that was identified as being tour worthy. There was a lot of people that thought like felt like it shouldn't have been. It was suggested to me that I play it. I was quite harsh in my review of it, and unfortunately, the designer took that very personally, and I get why. I probably would have myself, but they've gone ahead and deleted their account over it, which again is unfortunate. But I felt like it highlighted a need for, as a community and as reviewers, for us to be a little bit more, first maybe to look at what is a tour worthy course, and start to get an idea of how good should it have to be, and yeah. And so my intention with this is a course, I'm not going to name it. If you happen to notice it, great. I'm also not going to name the designer that identified this as being tour worthy. I have no interest in attacking anybody personally. And this is not meant to be critical. It'll come across as critical, I'm sure, because I'm going to point out reasons I don't think this should be tour worthy. But that's not the idea. The idea is to have a discussion and to consider, should there be changes made, or just express opinions, I suppose. Just a couple disclaimers: I don't design. I have no interest in designing. I'm no good at it. I am completely and utter. I mean, I'm totally aware of how difficult it is to design in this game. I did half of a hole. It was an awesome half of a hole, but half of a hole. And I realized very quickly that that wasn't something I wanted to do. So I'm coming at this from the point of view of a player, and somebody who's played golf in real life for 35, 36 some odd years. I used to play competitively as well. So when I look at courses, I look at them, I consider this game to be more of a simulation than an arcade game. So I look at it as, is this a course I would want to play in real life? And when I'm looking at whether a course should be tour worthy or not, I'm looking at it as an elite tour. So I'm in the elite tour now. Platinum is the highest, then elite, kinetic, CC, blah blah blah. As somebody playing on the elite tour, would I want to play that course 4 times? Would I want to experience all 4 pin positions? Would I want to experience the course in different wind directions and different firmnesses and different green speeds and all of that kind of stuff, which is something Q mentioned on J Ray in my podcast. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. Okay, so I'm going to apologize up front. This will probably come across as critical. It's not meant to be critical. That's why I'm keeping any names out of this, because I don't want to single anybody out. I want to start a discussion, basically. Okay, and so I'm quite happy to have people criticize me for this. It's fine. I'm putting myself out there, and that's part of the deal of doing that, right? So we stand on the first tee. I thought that might have been floating a little bit. I guess it's not, which is good. From the tee, it's okay. I mean, it's all right. It's a bit pinched. With the trees are a little bit, and again, for me, a little bit kind of pinched in. But more concerning is the drive is pretty blind. Like from the tee, I can't see these bunkers that are up here. Now I'm gonna get some biases out of the way. I don't like narrow fairways personally. It's just a personal preference. Don't like what narrow fairways. I don't like them in real life. I don't like them in the game. Part of that is because I don't hit driver very straight. Okay, so but I also like it when fairways are wide enough to allow for different angles, and I just feel like shots from fairway are often more interesting than shots from rough. Now there needs to be rough, and poor shots need to be penalized. So, but yeah, from here this looks narrow. When you get up here, it actually isn't really. It's not very narrow at all. This bunker, I'm curious why it's there, because I'm not sure when you would hit 3-wood. It could be that it's there to punish a really bad drive, because if you red fast went into it. Thing is, this course was made when I think this course was made when the red fast meta was in play, so I'm not sure about that. But you would never be hitting 3-wood on a 444-yard hole, I don't think, anyways. And there's not enough trouble up here to stop you from hitting driver, so it's odd that bunker's there, and we can't see it. When we look at sculpting, it's just a big hole. right? It's not. That's maybe part of the reason we can't see it. Is it's a big pit, a big hole in the ground. So I don't know whether it's been sculpted. I don't know, or if it has been. I don't think it's been sculpted particularly well. But it's there, so we'll deal with it. And this other one's same kind of deal. Oh, we're off to a good start. Or you could red slow it into this bunker, I guess. Oh, typical me. All right, so in fairness, I'm not gonna, because you would never hit the ball in there. Let's see what happens when I actually hit a decent drive. Okay, that's better. So we're shading the left because the bunker's to the right. The fairway's sloping quite aggressively right, left to right. Okay. This waterfall in the background is extremely distracting to me. And I just don't see why it needs to be there. Basically. That thing is just flying. We've just got this water that is screaming down here into a waterfall that then the water goes nowhere. So it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look realistic. It kind of looks like the water's just floating across the air and then just randomly falling into this dead still water. I don't understand it. Okay, so there's some realism issues there. Now, does that affect my ability to play the course? No, but it's a detail that I think needs to be looked at. Again, bunker is just a giant hole. The transition here, it's a little awkward. I don't know why the rough comes over here to go like that. The hole itself is fine. It's a mid-length par 4. The green is pretty benign. The water's probably in play. I wouldn't mind being able to see a bit more of the approach shot, but it's not that bad. So we're going to go ahead and make our bogey here after we decided that we didn't like our tee shot. Wow, the way I putt, maybe I shouldn't say that. But yeah, it's just the green's pretty darn flat, except for a fall off at the back. Now, normally you'd say that the green should kind of slope towards the water, but the water surrounds it on 3 sides, so which way would it slope, right? So I'm not going to make that criticism. So as an opener, it's okay. There's already things that I'm seeing that would make, if I, and another disclaimer I need to make, I am not a TGCTours reviewer, nor do I have any interest in being one. I like just being WhatAboutAmeobi. These are my, these opinions are those of WhatAboutAmeobi or Wayne, my actual first name. And I like keeping it that way. I don't want to have, I don't want to be, I like the fact that I can do my stream and not be constrained by the fact that I'm a TGCTours reviewer. So I don't have any interest in being a reviewer. I appreciate the amount of time the reviewers spend. I want to make that clear too. I have utmost respect for all the guys that do this. But there are going to be times when I disagree. And this is one. And I think it's important for the health of the community that when there's that disagreement, I think it's important to point it out, but I think it's also important to give concrete examples of why you disagree, rather than just saying, well, I think this course sucks, right? I think it's important to give those examples. So that's what I'm hoping to do here. I do know who the reviewer is. I like him. I think he's a great guy. I've had nothing but positive communication with him. I hope that stays after this. And I would very, very much enjoy the opportunity to talk to him after this if he wanted to, or if he just wants to say, you know what, we're going to agree to disagree, that's fine too. I don't want this to turn into anything ugly. Okay. Now, I understand that I might make it that way by doing what I'm doing, but That's not, again, not my intention. All right. Again, bunker. So this bunker, the bottom of the bunker, it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, bottom of the bunker is 24 feet below the hole, below the pin. The pin is not hugely accessible, but you can kind of bail and have a reasonable putt. But again, it's just this giant hole. And 24 feet. See, I'm on the fence on this one because bunker play in this game is a lot easier than it should be. But 24 feet is basically 2 stories in a bit. Just try to visualize how high 24 feet is. Sorry, I'm doing this wrong. It's 8 feet. For some reason, I thought that was 8 feet up. It's 8 feet down. Sorry, it's 8 feet. Okay, so it's just shy of a basketball hoop. That's not so bad then. And so I'm gonna take that all back. I think 8 feet's fine in this game. In real life, it wouldn't be because 8 feet is really high. But in this game, it's gonna make this bunker shot actually play more difficultly, like it should. Okay, so what would I do here? I don't know that I go with this pin because I've got this downslope here. I think I'm either burying it in the front bunker or I'm maybe leaving myself. Yeah, I don't think I go for this. So I'm going to aim more to the middle and I'm going to fast it and go way over there. I probably could have tried to cut one back in there if I really wanted to get close. So I think the hole itself is okay. That putt isn't. That's not where I would have my issue. My issue is more, again, sculpting. And while I'm okay with a bunker being 8 feet deep in this game to play, make that bunker shot play more difficultly, it just doesn't look right. And it's too big. Too big and too deep. So now what we got? We got a par 5. Okay. Again, I can barely see this bunker on the left. The one on the right, I can't. And again, it looks narrower than it is off the tee, the way the trees are. This tree right here, I think maybe could go. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I would experiment with it not being there. It is interesting that we can't see a bunker that's 35 feet below us. It's pinched at driver length, which on a par 5 I don't mind. But with it being downhill, downwind, it's not going to be pinched after I hit this if I hit it at all well. So, this is going to be out there a good ways. I didn't even check the angle. I should have. But it looks like I'm probably going to be okay here. I might actually have gotten the perfect angle. Oops. The green is just a circle. It's just not very interesting. Par 5, okay. If this was a long par 4, I would be going bananas about this. It's a par 5, okay, that's fine. And I guess it's downhill all the way, isn't it? So, okay, yeah, so I can handle that. Basically, the green is following the slope of the fairway. There are some smoothing issues, though, in my mind. It seems to kind of be doing a little staggered. It drops 6 feet. No, that's inches, dummy. Where does it go? So we're 10 feet here. Then we're 11, 11, 11, 11. Then we're 10. So it comes back up. Interesting. And then 11, and then down to 6. We lose 6 feet right there in the last 30 yards. So it definitely can make an argument that it drops suddenly. And it could be a smoother transition down. And you see here too, the way it's kind of propped up a bit there. But you know, so far this course, I easily would approve this course, no problem, right? No problem. This goes in the database easily. Is it tour worthy right now? I'm not so sure. And I have played the whole course. I don't think it should be tour worthy, but right at this point, that's not what I'm thinking. So I'm going to try to run it down this hill and then catch this hill. And I'm going to watch it go right through the back. So this is where, with it being a par 5, I'm not going to completely lose my mind. If it's a par 4, like if it's a long par 4, I don't have a shot. I don't know where I don't know where else to land the ball. Like, I landed it basically where I felt like I had to, and it's gone through the green. So front pin, you're not getting anywhere near it. But for par 5, being through the green, having 9 yards, it's okay. Right? I wouldn't mind seeing a different way of protecting this, but it's okay. Oh, that came out better than I expected. Oops. Thought the rough was going to slow it down a little bit. Alright, so we make a pretty straightforward birdie. We had the wind helping, wind hurting. That hole's going to play a lot more it's going to play a lot differently. I'm not going to be able to just take it over that pinched area. And yeah, it's just going to play longer, obviously. And those bunkers at the pinch area are probably going to be more in play. Okay. 4th hole. Something about the way those boxes are sitting, their tee markers are sitting, sorry. It kind of looks like they're floating. They're not though, I don't think. Anyways, nitpick. Uphill island green. Interesting. Not something you see a whole lot. Personal preference, I don't like trees being that close to the surface of the green. And I don't like branches overhanging greens. Personal preference. Okay. We can see that there's water short. We can see there's water left. We can't see it behind because it's uphill, which is what makes an uphill island green interesting. You can't see behind it, right? Yeah, we've talked about bunkering. Okay. We fasted this. This might be a problem. Oh no, it's fine. Ooh, that's aggressively sloped there. Yeah. So I don't think that slope needs to be quite that aggressive. There's rough there, which slows it down, but that's a pretty steep fall off down to the water. It's little things like this that, for me, make this course not too worthy. So we're just going to chip it up. Again, the green is a fairly circular shape, not a huge amount going on it. At 151, it's pretty slow. It's not hugely interesting, is what it comes down to. But I mean, it's okay. It's an okay course. All right. So now, another par 5. Can't hit 3-wood because you're going to hit in the water. So you either need to take driver over the water, which you should be able to, in fairness. In this wind, at least. Into the wind. Into the wind, yeah. Into the wind, you definitely can't go here. Might be able to go here if you crush one. But you would definitely be asking yourself a question, because you'd basically be saying, how confident am I hitting my driver, right? So if I don't want to try to knock it over the water, I think I have to hit 4-iron, really. Into the wind, I might be able to hit 3-iron. And what do I leave myself doing that? Oh, hang on. I'm missing something. You could go over here. Okay. So the issue here is, why is there fairway over here when there's trees here? Right? This doesn't look like a place I'm supposed to hit a ball. And then if I do that, I guess I'm going to hit one over. Yeah, it doesn't. It looks like it could be an option, but then it doesn't at the same time. It hasn't been really well thought through. And I would never have seen that had I not pulled this up. I would never have seen it does that. So anyways, back to my original If I hit it right to the end of the fairway, not going with water, I leave 315. Okay. So then I'm going iron, hopefully wedge, right? I've played par 5s like that before in my life. I hate them. Personal preference again. I don't like par 5s where you have to lay up. So we're not going to lay up. We're going to take this on. I think we hit it well enough. Yeah, okay. So we've hit it out to the left. It was going to get over anyways. It was slightly downhill, so getting over wasn't going to be a huge issue. And then if we had a left, right wind, you can't go at this pin because there's a tree in the way. So one argument you could make is your drive needs to be over here. And that's why it's a shorter carry here than it is here. Because going here, this tree isn't in your way. You've got a better angle. Going here, yeah, you can get on, but you maybe can't go at this particular pin because of the tree being in your way. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. Using a tree is not my favorite way of doing it, but I can see the thought process behind it. Okay, I can see that. So okay. We have the wind that's actually going to allow us to play at this though, so that's good. And we've hit a shot that's not, it's a bail is what it is. Okay. So being on a green and 2 on a par 5 is never going to be something you're too upset about. The green again is just it's just kind of unimaginative. If this is a new designer, it's kind of green I want them to make, quite frankly. Because it's gonna be hard to get yourself into too much trouble. But again, transition here is a little awkward. It's very awkward here, and then just kind of I don't know. And again, I'm looking at this as a course being tour worthy, so my expectations are higher. If I were a reviewer, I would mark this approved, and might not have made it this far. I might have gone, yeah, nothing egregious about it. There's been some effort put into it. It's not just an auto-gen course. They've thought themselves through. Okay, approved. I think by now I'm kind of feeling it's not tour worthy, and now I definitely don't think it is, and I'll get there why. Okay, tee shot didn't frame too badly. Very wide fairway. Again, really deep bunker over there, but fairway's pretty wide, so I'll just smack one out here. Not really a whole lot of strategy here, and not every ball hole has to. Here's where you lose me. You got the green. It's 32 feet up, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But it's got a 20-foot high cliff. So if you don't get up, and okay, let's get one thing out of the way. You've got to come up 27 yards short of the green in order to not make it up the cliff. And after a good drive, you better be getting it up there. But what if you don't? What if you hit it in the rough or you hit it in this bunker, right? Is the intention here that if you don't hit the fairway, you just can't hit the green? You're gonna have to lay up on a hole that's like what, 440-ish? Was it? I can find out. 450. Okay. Yeah. On a hole of that length, it's not a hugely long par 5 or par 4. I mean, I don't know. It's a very abrupt cliff. And the other question is, if we want to be, again, being realistic, how am I getting up to this green? Right? That's a hell of a hill I got to get up somehow. And then we've got this big cliff behind. People watching there, they're going to fall and die. It's unfortunate for them. It's just it's details like that to me separate a tour-worthy course and a not tour-worthy course. So we had to take 4 iron because of the wind. We're barely gonna... Oh, wow, the wind killed that. Okay, well, at least we got up top, though. We weren't far from not getting up top. I'm surprised by that. That barely came out of the rough. That's me. Again, green's relatively uninteresting except for ridge running through the middle of it. Yeah, no. That's just me not putting well. Can't complain about a course when you don't putt. So, a bogey because I hit a poor chip and I hit a poor putt. It's fine. Now we get to this extreme dog leg, basically right angle dog leg. Just not enjoyable at all. Okay. So my options are, if I hit the shot the waypoint is telling me to hit, I'm leaving myself 200 yards into this green that is not very big, not particularly welcoming, not really any opportunity, not a huge amount of opportunity at least to run into. So that's not a shot I really want to hit. And I'm also looking at a scenario where with a wind helping, I could run through into the rough and then I'm really in trouble. Or I can get really silly and try to hit one over these trees and leave myself something shorter, which is what I'm going to do because I so desperately don't want to have that other shot, but I'm into the wind. So can I do this? Probably not. I'm going to try and kick it through here. Oh, that's not going to help. Okay, so that's a poor play by me, but I also think it's a poor design. So we're going to try and snipe one around here. We're going to catch more trees. Yeah, that was a risk I took going that route. But again, I did not want to leave myself 200 yards into this. It would not let me take a backswing. Interesting. Now, I don't know if that's because there was a big hill behind me, or I'm not sure what the hell that was. Wow, okay. Any designers that are watching this, please let me know what happened there if you know. That was weird. Okay. So we've made a complete hatchet job of that hole. I might have been better off going out in the fairway and leaving myself 2 bills in, but the other issue with that strategy was the layup wasn't very easy either, right? And it could have left me in a scenario where I wasn't getting the green either. Okay, so kind of an island green again. It's more, I guess, it's a peninsula green, but it's not far off being an island green. You're covered on 3 sides. This bridge, there's a bridge there, which is good. I just don't like the way it crosses here. Where could we put it instead? You could just have it go right here, right? I think. Yeah. You could have a little bridge go right here, and then you walk around there. You don't need to have it going all the way around here and right in front of where you're going. It just takes away from the view. Okay. For a hole that's 184 yards long, the green is a bit on the small side, particularly when you consider the fact that there's no bailout really except left into the bushes. There's no ability to run the ball on. It seems like we're being asked to hit a pretty difficult shot here. And again, can't really see the surface of the green. Slow was probably not what I needed there, but we'll see. No, and then there's a false edge too. So the greens are already pretty small for the shot you're hitting. 4 pin positions on here are going to be pretty similar because the green's so small. I don't think you need a false front on top of that. It just feels a bit harsh. Now, that might be me whining as a player who hit a poor shot. So it's also not the designer's fault that my 4-iron goes 184 and my 3-iron goes 215 and I was in between clubs. That's on me. So we're not going to get upset with the designer over that. Okay. Now we get ourselves a drivable 4, potentially. It looks like the clubhouse is in bounds. That's just a pet peeve of mine. It's also treed off and you should never end up over there. Let's see. So the strategy here actually isn't too bad. I've got to pay attention to these bunkers if I want to lay up. So I got to think about this. You could lay up here, I guess, but I don't know why you would. Your layup's more here, I think. Take the width of the fairway and leave yourself a full wedge. And hope you don't get that weird spin thing that happened to my buddy Jack yesterday. If you want to go for the green, you had better hit it solidly. Because anything that isn't in at least right near perfect or very near it, because there's the one gray fast that doesn't go very far. It's gone. It's not going to make the water, right? It's not going to make it over the water. And that's fine. Risk reward. As I look at this, the question I ask myself is, would I go for this? And the reason I would say no is if I don't see where I can hit a shot that gets over the water and stays on the green. So the question I've got to ask myself is, do I want to have some kind of opportunity to get up and down from just around the green here from what probably is going to be some kind of rough lie? Or do I want to leave myself a wedge? I'll take the wedge. Now, if I was streaming this, I'd be going for it because channel rules and all that, but I don't think it's the play. And so this isn't a bad hole necessarily. It's just, it's unfortunate that the risk is so punishing versus the potential for the reward. I would be trying to go for this, maybe trying to make eagle and being like, okay, well, if I've hit it in the water, I've hit it in the water. Eagle's kind of off the table here because of the way the green is. So it's not really inviting me to take the shot on. It's basically telling me not to. But it doesn't make it a bad hole. Just one that it's a layup. If anything, it's maybe a bit of a tease that it looks like it's drivable, but it probably isn't. Well, yeah, we just take the driver, or take the wedge, flip it on, miss the putt. Pretty standard. Didn't pay any attention to that putt. That's me. Okay. So 2 over. Not great. And now this, and what makes this frustrating is it's such a simple fix. Either move this tee up or lower this and move the tee over, and then we can see this, and that view would be really awesome. And that's the frustrating part of how awesome this view would be. But just a little bit more care to get that view, but because we don't, we're hitting here looking at the front of the tee box. It's too bad. Again, that would make it not tour worthy for me. There's a pond over here. Okay. Well, that was the 9th. All right. But it's not, yeah, okay. Oh, there's a pond there. I'm not sure why, but there is. Again, downhill this much probably shouldn't be in play. But we'll see. it does slope very aggressively over there. So from the left side of the fairway to the right side of the fairway, it's what, 9 feet of slope? It's probably too much. Ball's in the air forever because it's way downhill, which is fine. Downwind, you'd probably be able to hit an absolute bomb. And then, so we've hit a perfect shot. And we're rewarded with this. Into the wind's unfortunate. But this doesn't need to be, how high is this? So this is 45 feet above the green. I don't see a need for that. I don't see the benefit of it. Your layup is to the left of it. You're hitting like a 7-iron over here. You need to be a bit careful because you could, depending on the pin, get yourself blocked out by these trees right by the fairway, by the green. You take this hill out? It's a hole I don't mind at all. The bunker's short, sure. Yeah, don't mind that. Green's small on a par 5, don't mind that. I really would be cool. It would be really cool if this will feed over. It looks like it does. So it looks like you can kind of run one in here. Yeah. So there's some thought been put into this, and I like that. There's just this hill kind of kills it for me. Well, we might actually be okay. I might have misjudged it enough that the fast helped. Now is it going to kick over? Beautiful. So the way that shot was designed, great. Like that. I like that opportunity to hit that shot. I just wish I didn't have to go over a hill to do it. That's all. All right. Oh, we're pulling everything. Ah, that's me. There you go. So we've hit 2 really good shots, made a comfortable birdie. Cool. No problem with that. All right. Now, what are we going to do here? So we've just made this super tight uphill par 4. What if I go... I could try and bomb it over here, but what am I getting for that? Probably gonna rattle the trees. That's no good. There's OB over here. How come? Is it... Oh, is that... We're calling that lava, or... Is that water? What is this? Is that what's OB? And then OB to the right, just over here. That's OB. Again, why? It's water, isn't it? That seems harsh. To have this one area here be OB just off the fairway. I think the water, I mean, I get that it's some kind of hot spring or something, but my ball's going to be in there anyway, so who cares? And so it looks like I basically need to hit, I'm going to try and force a 3-wood up here, because again, I just don't like the design. But this isn't the right shot at all. Especially with that slope. Okay, we're in the fairway. Are we blocked out? Almost. Okay, not quite. But again, trees very close to the surface. My personal opinion is if you're in the fairway and you're going for the hole in regulation, you shouldn't be blocked out by a tree. My opinion. I've hit the fairway. I should at least be able to go to the green. I shouldn't have to worry about cutting it around a tree or anything. My opinion. There are those that disagree with me, and that's fine. Didn't play that right at all. The green, yeah, again, pretty circular. Pit of a bunker. Not just the whole design's what loses me there. And part of that is just it's my own preference. I don't like little short, goofy, gimmicky little holes like that. Which is why I was like, I'm gonna hit 3-wood. I don't want to hit iron to there, and then just have to hit what would have been probably a 6-iron or a 5-iron for me into that green. It's just awkward here. That's kind of awkward to me. Again, you've got this way, I can't get to it right now, but it's way uphill. Trees on the right are making me think, do I have to worry about them? Because they're just barely off the fairway. Driver doesn't look like it's the right play either, though. I'm going to try something a bit silly. Low drive. So kind of right between a 3-wood and a driver. Okay. Now after that, I've got a pretty comfortable shot in. Again, there's just nothing here that is memorable that makes me want to play this course again. And to the designer, I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. It's just there's nothing here. It's find the fairway and hit a wedge. So I understand that that's why this was kind of a bit goofy. Not goofy, it's wrong. Why there was some movement around here was to make me have to think on my drive, because if I can hit the fairway, the second shot's easy. Oh, looks like we learned how to putt finally. It's amazing what you can do when you can putt. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So again, it's a par 5. So something that I does need to be addressed is you do not have the sacred right to hit a par 5 and 2, right? It's a par 5. You're supposed to get there in 3 shots. Par is defined as the number of shots it should take a scratch player to reach the green plus 2 shots. So par 5, it should take you 3 shots. The fact that you might have an opportunity to get there in 2 is a bonus, right? But having said that, I don't like it when fairways get cut off to maybe stop that from happening. And I do enjoy a par 5 where you might be able to get there. I think it's more exciting. And if it's going to be a 3-shot, shoot. If it's going to be a 3-shot par 5, that's fine. But there's better ways to do it, in my opinion. If I wasn't in the rough, I'd be able to take a poke at that. But really, I'm not sure if I could. Because the green's raised, you can't run it on at all. Okay, well, it's a par 5, so I'm not going to get upset about that. If I hit 3-wood up here. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I'm not a fan of fairways being cut off to stop. It's particularly in par 5s. Just, again, my opinion, feel free to disagree with it. People have. I just think there's better ways to make it a 3-shot hole and make it interesting. And even then, if I hit the fairway, I can still get on. It's a bit deep there. Behind the green, it's uninteresting. I don't know. I've seen worse, for sure. All right. So good drive. Pretty good second shot. Good pitch. Birdie. Cool. So again, we're doing this perched green with water all the way around it, with super deep bunkers. Green's tiny. Can't see the bunkers or the water really from the tee. Yeah. We've kind of fallen into the trap of designing the same par 3 over and over again. That's not enough, is it? I thought it might just get there. It did not. Okay. I've played this hole 3 times now, so kind of not that interesting. I just like to see some variety is what it comes down to. Okay. So problem 1 from the tee, we can't see that the fairway gets all pinched. Right? Now I can do this, yes. But why not just show me? Why hide it? And I don't think the designer's done it on purpose. I just think the designer hasn't thought about that. It's my guess. Could be wrong. But you're not going to hit driver here, which is fine. Right? It's fine. We're going to hit 3-wood because driver's going to go too far. And by too far, I mean driver's going to go into that super narrow area. It's going to bring water into play. So I'd rather not do that. Let's take a 3-wood and leave ourselves what should be a fairly comfortable shot over all this stuff. Don't see the need for there to be smoke coming off of all this. It's just distracting, quite honestly. And it's an example of a new designer, and I don't know how new this designer is. So, but often new designers, if this person is new, see these kinds of effects that they can create and waterfalls and kind of fun stuff, and they put them in places where they just don't make sense. It's just distracting my shot, right? Yeah, okay. Bunker's very abrupt. It probably works. We've hit a good shot. Did we have the right bat in our hands? Circle green again. Pretty flat. Overread the break. Pulled it a bit probably. Okay. So, a little bit of strategy on that hole in the sense that I have to just hit 3-woods because if I hit driver, I'm going to bring everything into play I don't need. I don't know if I'd call that strategy as much as I would call just being forced into it. So again, island-ish type of green. The question I have is, why is it that this part of the island is 6 feet higher than the hole, where the hole is? I just don't understand why. That would have taken a small amount of time to just smooth, flatten. It would give us a much better view of the pin, of the hole entirely. From here, it just looks weird. You can see it's all raised up, right? So it's details. Because again, if this is lowered, this makes the view look a lot better. But again, it's a similar. Every par 3 has been water, either around the entire green or at least 3 sides of it. So pseudo island greens on every hole. This one just happens to be downhill and a little bit shorter. And again, greens are pretty uninteresting. At least this one, there's a little bit more thought put into the shape. It's still not. It's okay. It's okay. And I mean, that's the thing. This course is okay. I wouldn't say it's a bad course. It's okay. It's an approve, for sure. Definitely an approved course. Definitely should be in the database. No question about that. Okay. Yeah. Staggered bunkers. We can't see either one of them. So, similar trends are coming out, right? Sculpting needs help. It's a short par 5 that's super narrow. Don't have a massive problem with that. Don't have a massive problem with that. Okay, we're going to find the fairway. Second shot's going to be way uphill. Well, not way uphill, but uphill. And now, the trees. This is an example to me, and again, this is a real life thing. I've played so many courses that have par 5s like this. I never like them. To me, this is an example of, okay, my hole's not really that long. I want it to be a par 5. I need to gimmick it to make it a par 5. Because if I don't, it's going to be super easy. And I get the thinking. I do. I completely understand the thinking behind this. I just don't agree with it. Is what it comes down to. Particularly when you're designing in a game where you can do whatever you want with the land. You don't have to have it be short like this, right? You can make your par 5 long enough that you don't have to worry about gimmicking it up. That's what the good designers would do. Ah, crap. I didn't know if I had enough there. I didn't think so. So, a lot of why I hit the shot I hit there was I was, again, in between clubs. That's my problem, not the designers. I mean, it's not unfair at all. Again, you do not have a divine right to hit a par 5 and 2. Again, I don't like how it was done. That's all. I think there's better ways of making a par 5 and defending it against the eagle than that. And then we come to this hole. I don't know. It's okay. Again, can't see the fairway because the tee's on our way. So we just need to move that. I would probably just stagger these tees down. Have the white tee be down lower, have the red tee be down even lower than that, and then be able to see everything. It's a forced layup. Probably not how... Oh, shoot. Probably not how I would do a finisher. An 18th hole. I'd want the 18th hole to be more exciting. I like a par 5 as a finish. A risk reward hole. Kind of hole you're going to play and you're going to be like, oh man, I got to go back and play that course again. That hole was awesome. This one doesn't do that. And it's your... Well, that's not even going to get there. Whoa. Okay, so 2 things to unpack on that one. A very common thing I see, particularly with newer designers, super downhill drive to then an uphill second shot. I'm not sure why, but you see it a lot. Now, I hit my drive in the rough. I didn't hit a horrible drive, but I didn't hit a good drive, so it was in the rough, so I had to figure some stuff out. I'm now 30 feet basically below the green. How am I supposed to play this? And again, I didn't miss this by much. I almost would rather be in the water. I genuinely don't know how to hit this shot. I'm going to try and hit a full pitch. I don't know if this gets up the hill. Just barely. That one is going to come back down. So it's bad enough that we have to go uphill like that, and we have this super vertical slope there right in front, cliff basically. We also have false front going 15 to 18 feet into the green. Yeah. It's a little bit too much. So I'm going to walk off this green frustrated because I hit a half decent drive, a half decent second shot. I make bogey because I was on the side of a mountain. Okay. So I'm just going to leave it here. I think I've already exposed the name of the course by accident. I didn't mean to. So what am I trying to accomplish with this? It's a decent course. It's okay. There's nothing particularly, like, well, there's things wrong with it, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's a bad course. I wouldn't say it shouldn't be in the database. But would I want to play that course 4 times? And would I want to play it in tournament conditions, in different winds to different pin sets? No, I wouldn't. Play it once, prove, forget about it, never see it again. There are so many amazing courses in this game that I would rather play. And if this comes across as disrespectful to the designer, if the designer ever sees this and figures out it's his course, then it's disrespectful, I suppose. But the thing is that in this community, there are so many amazing courses that a course like this just comes up flat. It's okay. Not bad to play with your buddies. I'm continue making the course. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But should it be tour worthy on TGC Tours? No, it shouldn't. This should not host a tournament. It shouldn't even be in contention for hosting a tournament. It's a course that should be approved. There's too many issues with it, with sculpting and unimaginative hole design, and you know, it's just not a tour worthy course, in my opinion. For the person that reviewed it, if you want to reach out to me to tell me why I'm wrong, I'm happy to have that conversation. This is not meant to bury anybody. But I do feel like when it comes to tour worthiness on TGC Tours, we need to be holding courses to higher standards. They need to be the best of the best. This course is not the best of the best. The courses need to be the best of the best. They need to be those courses that make you just go, oh my God. And I understand that there are probably a need for 250 or more courses in a year for the tours. And so do we have too many 250 oh my God courses? I'll concede that that's probably not the case, and that we do need to find courses to play. But I think we can do better than this as being a tour worthy course, in my opinion. I think there are other courses out there that were not marked as tour worthy that are better. And off the top of my head, I can't think of them necessarily, but that's where there's that issue, right? And so what I would encourage TGC Tours to do is maybe have the choice of tour worthiness be a little bit more of a committee rather than one person, if it's possible to do that without creating too much more work. Because I understand it's volunteer. I understand that you're right. You're taking time out of your lives to do this. People have families, jobs, etc., etc. I get all of that. But my concern is that when this course gets labeled as tour worthy, this designer thinks I've made a tour worthy course. I'm a really good designer. And now there's not, what's the incentive to improve? There's no real need to improve because they've already made a tour worthy course. So then when they make another tour worthy course, or maybe they make another course that isn't tour worthy, because I'm sure that happened with this person. When you make another course that isn't tour worthy, then you're wondering, well, wait a minute, my other course was, why isn't this one? When they make similar courses, right? I just think that bar needs to be higher. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe, do all the things YouTube likes. Feel free to comment. I really would like to get a conversation going here, but I also want to be cognizant of the fact that it's volunteers running this, and we do need to keep that in mind. So please keep things civil. I disagree with a decision that was made here, and I'm just giving my opinions on why. Okay, I don't want this to turn into anything personal. I don't want anybody getting bashed. I just want this to be a talk about what do we want this community to be, right? Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys on my stream, twitch.tv/WhatAboutAmeobi. Cheers.